Hello guys, welcome to my channel, Full on Drama. Today I have brought you 5 Am I the Asshole Reddit wedding stories. Story 1. Am I the asshole for backing out of my best friend's bachelorette trip because my boyfriend needed me? 6 months ago, my 24 female best friend Tess 26 female asked me to be her maid of honor for her wedding. We have been friends for years now and I love her a lot. She has always been there for me and we've been through a lot together. The one thing Tess was the most excited for was her bachelorette. She has been talking about it even before she got engaged, which is why I feel so guilty. I also helped her plan our Vegas trip and we were supposed to leave this week. But a few days ago, Jason got laid off of work. Even though he saw it coming, it hit him hard. He's just stressed and really upset. He didn't even tell me at first because he didn't want me to be worried, but when he finally told me, I just knew I couldn't go anymore. I was really conflicted, and I knew what this meant to Tess and that I'm the maid of honor, but I just couldn't even consider going to Vegas while Jason is this upset. He's a strong guy, but I felt like he shouldn't go through this alone. I worked up the courage to call Tess, and it just went so much worse than I planned. Tess thought I was joking first, and then she just became really angry, which is understandable, but I wish she understood my situation too. Tess at first told me to do whatever and cut the call. She didn't respond when I tried contacting her again. After that, she sent me a lot of messages saying that I'm stealing her special day, and started questioning why I accepted to be maid of honor if I didn't want to do the duties that came along with it. She said I'm untrustworthy and jealous, that I'm ruining her special moment for a guy I've only known for a year. I'll admit, I usually don't accept Tess's offers to go clubbing and she blames that on Jason being controlling. But in reality, I've explained that I just turned into a homebody because I never really enjoyed that stuff in the first place. I still go out with her a lot. I make sure I'm there for her. But for her bachelorette, I was willing to do that and more. I really did want to go and make it special. She told me that her whole plan will fall through because I was the one with the plan. I told her I'll explain it all to one of our other friends, but she said I don't have to because I'm no longer her friend. That hurt a lot to hear. On one hand, I don't regret my decision. Jason needs me and Tess should understand how difficult this is for us. But also, this is a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and she has been dreaming about it since forever. I'm also the one who planned a lot of the stuff. Our mutuals also reached out to let me know that Tess was very angry, and that what I did was not cool. Now I'm doubting myself, and I need to know if I have to apologize. I obviously can't ask anyone I know. Jason thinks I'm right, and I'm sure Derek and the bridesmaids think Tess is right. So that is why this post. Thank you, if you are trying to help me. So, am I the asshole? Story 2. Am I the asshole for telling my bridal client that the venue was double booked? I, 29 female, and my business partner, 34 female, run a wedding planning and coordination business. For context, we have several different packages, but it breaks down to basically A. We plan your wedding start to finish, or B. You plan your wedding and we are there on the day of to execute the timeline, coordinate vendors, etc., to make sure the day runs smoothly and you have no stress. Here's what happened with one of our package B clients. The ceremony begins at 6 p.m. in a different area on the same property, and the bride was told that not only would she be the only wedding in the room that she booked on that day, but that because she was the only wedding in that room that day, she would also be able to go in there prior to her ceremony to take photos, as all vendors had ample time to complete the room setup. Normally, these photos would happen during cocktail hour, but she didn't want to miss out on that, so we were trying to accommodate her, and it should have been no issue considering she was told that she was the only wedding that day. Yesterday, we received an email from the florist stating that they couldn't gain access to the reception room, according to the venue, until 5:45 p.m. as there is another wedding occurring in the same room and it ends at 5:45 p.m. Normally, this would be fine and we would simply rearrange timings and notify the vendors so that they can allocate additional personnel to account for a short setup time. So, we called the client and asked if she was aware of this. We understand now that she should have called the venue first to confirm this. However, it ended up being accurate, so it wouldn't have made a difference. She was not and was incredibly upset. She and her father called the venue and, apparently, went off on them. The venue event specialist then called my partner and scolded her for telling the client, stating that telling her the week of her wedding was bad coordinating practice and that we should have just let it go, and then hung up on her without letting her speak. After speaking with my partner about this phone call, I called the event specialist myself to get a feel for what was going on from his point of view. He gave me the same treatment appointment, would not allow me to speak, and hung up on me. Immediately after, we attempted to call the bride at 5:50 p.m., but she didn't answer. So, we sent her a text to please call us, which she also did not answer. An hour later, we sent another text to the group chat we have with her and her maid of honor, her sister, asking to please call us. But neither one of them has responded. It is now 12 p.m. the next day and she still has not texted or called, and we're supposed to have our final call this evening. So, am I the asshole for telling her that she wouldn't be able to take photos in the reception room prior to her ceremony because the venue booked another wedding during the day and we wouldn't be able to have the room set up completed in time? Story 3. Am I the asshole for getting upset that my bridesmaid friend skipped my wedding? I've had a long engagement with my fiancé. Got engaged December 2019. We were supposed to get married in 2021, but you can understand why that couldn't happen. So our wedding happened this past weekend. One of my best friends was supposed to attend as a bridesmaid, but she skipped last minute because of an emergency. To be honest, I was mad she skipped because the emergency happened almost a week ago, so she had time to figure things out and attend. So what happened was that her fiancé got a car accident and was hospitalized. He was hospitalized for 5 days, and on Friday he got discharged to go home. My friend had told me from the moment he got into the accident that she'll skip the wedding just to be sure, and I told her we'll see. So when I saw that he got discharged on Friday, I expected my friend to show up at the wedding after all, since his situation is not as dangerous right now, and I texted her, but she said that she'll not be able to make it. She kept saying how he's still not well, and being discharged doesn't mean he can stay alone without care for many hours, and since my wedding day would start at 9 a.m. on Saturday with the preparations etc., the ceremony would be at 7 p.m. on Saturday evening. And the reception or party would last until Sunday morning hours. She couldn't be away from home for that long, and she said she could compromise if she could only attend the ceremony. I said I don't want her there just for the ceremony, and she's a bridesmaid and supposed to be by my side the entire time. I also said that she should find him some care for the day so she can freely attend the wedding. And I suggested inviting either her parents or a friend to stay with him for that day. His parents live far away. She said it's not the same and she won't feel right being away for the entire day. I got pretty upset because she seemed to totally disregard my wedding after so long making preparation. And while I understand it's her fiancé, I was mad she didn't find a compromise to attend. She claims her compromise would be to just attend the ceremony and then go home again, but she's a bridesmaid. If she's not there for the full experience, it would be pointless. She said I'm an asshole for making her feel guilty about caring for her hurt fiancé, and she said that his situation takes priority over my wedding. She said she's not sorry for prioritizing her significant other's health over me at this point. And if I was a good friend, I'd understand instead of guilt-tripping her, and that I better not complain if I'm ever in a difficult situation and I need my husband's help and support, and he chooses to attend someone's wedding over caring for his wife. So, am I the asshole? Story 4. Am I the asshole for not wanting my future sister-in-law to be my bridesmaid? I, 27 female, am planning my dream day with my fiancé, 30 male. We are paying for everything ourselves. In-laws have not offered to help with the costs, which we are fine with. My fiancé has a sister, 22 female, who I'll refer to as future sister-in-law. When the date was set for the wedding, future father-in-law said that he would be very upset if future sister-in-law isn't included in the retinue. Context here is that fiancé and I have decided to have only 2 people each in our retinues, which are our closest friends. No family, as we are Desi, and have huge families. We already explained this to my future in-laws. My fiancé has then received 3 calls from his mom and dad demanding that my future sister-in-law be a part of my retinue. They have not asked me personally after the first time we discussed it, and my fiancé explained to them that we are not including family in the retinue. They chose to communicate this all to my fiancé. A few notes: I am not close to my future sister-in-law. Never have been in the 4 years fiancé and I have been together. Future sister-in-law is giving the toast at our reception. Fiancé and I live 600 kilometers away from our family's parents and siblings, so it wouldn't make sense for her to be flying up and down between us for bridal events. My maid of honor and bridesmaid are my lifelong friends and have committed to making all the bridal events happen, as my bridesmaid also lives in my hometown 600 kilometers away. I have never had a great relationship with my future in-laws. They are also insisting we invite future sister-in-law's boyfriend. They have been dating for 6 months and it is future sister-in-law's first relationship. Context here is that I was not allowed to meet part of their family in the 3+ years we've been dating and engaged, as future mother-in-law stated I was not part of their family. We are cutting out close family and friends from this wedding due to limited numbers, 100 guests total. Also, the boyfriend does not speak to fiancé or I. So, am I the asshole for not wanting my future sister-in-law to be a bridesmaid and not inviting her boyfriend? Story 5. Am I the asshole for ruining my friend's bachelorette party? I, 25 female, went to my friend's 24 female bachelorette party in PCB. There wasn't a lot of planning beforehand, and I asked the maid of honor 2 times before this for some kind of details or plans. Fast forward to a month before we're supposed to board a plane to get there, and we have still received nothing. I reached out again to ask what the plan was because I was going to have to ask off of work and make arrangements to ensure things were in order. A big thing I was worried about was transportation around the city. When I asked what our plan was about transportation while we were down there, and they said we were going to Uber everywhere because renting a car for the 3 days was going to be $1,000 plus. I thought that was ridiculous, and I said that Ubering will definitely be more expensive and that I could rent a car. Another girl going really wanted to rent a car too because Ubers make her nervous. I looked it up and it was going to be $35 each when we split the price of the rental car for the 3 days. We went ahead and rented a car because for us, we felt it was worth it. When we got down there, the other girls were mad that we got the car, and when we told them that it would only be $35, they refused to participate and chose to take their, now even more overpriced, Ubers. One night, they decided that they wanted to go to a seafood restaurant because it was Lent and one of the bridesmaids was newly Catholic. Another friend and I were ready to go to dinner at 5:30. But everyone else took their sweet time and they weren't ready to go out until 7:45 p.m. Once everyone was ready, they said their Uber was there and we got in our car and left to meet them at the restaurant. When we got down there, we messaged them to ask where they were and they said they ordered the wrong Uber and they were waiting on the new one. We asked them if they wanted us to get a table and they said no because the restaurant closes at 9 and it was now 8:15 and they were still waiting on their new Uber. We quickly searched up some other places and they said, "You guys just do whatever you want. We'll meet you later." This really hurt my friend's feelings and we felt ditched and hungry, so we ate at a Longhorn without them. While we were eating, they texted us to let us know that they were at Margaritaville and that when we were done, we could sit with them before we all went out to the bar. My friend and I decided that we didn't want to sit there and watch them eat and we were tired, so we left and went back to the Airbnb. We didn't stay up and go back out with them. We were mad, so we deliberately went back and fell asleep. After the party was over, our friend told us that we ruined her bachelorette party and we were being difficult before the party and during. I don't feel like we did anything wrong and I don't feel bad for asking questions prior to the party because we were spending $600 plus each to fly, pay for the Airbnb, food, etc. So, am I the asshole? Thanks for watching. Comment your verdict. Please like, share, and subscribe.